ghouls and gals, welcome back to my channel. My name is Taylor and today's video is going to be a book haul. I've got a really good assortment of books here. Some bought secondhand, some bought new, thrifted, all over the place. So yes, let's just go ahead and get into it. So I'm gonna start off with books that I got for free from the library, with the first one being The Night Sister by Jennifer McMahon, and this one was in the donations pile on the free cart, so I picked it up. I believe this author writes horror. I know nothing about this one. I've heard good things about the author. I'm feeling like this could be a good summer-ween read. And the blurb for this one says, "Dear Mr. Hitchcock, do you believe in monsters? Sincerely yours, Miss Sylvia Slater, The Tower Motel." And it looks like it takes place in the 1950s. So very intrigued by this one. Very excited to have found this little gem at my library. And then the next three are actually ARCs. I do work at the library. One of my coworkers, she gets a lot of ARCs for her position, and she passes along the ones that she doesn't have an interest in. She does not like horror. She knows that I do, so I did get some ARCs. This first one comes out in October of this year, October 3rd, and it says Let Him In by William Frund. Really enjoy the cover. Looks like this is going to be a Source Books release, and the blurb said, "Daddy, there's a man in our room." It looks like it's going to be like a paranormal, maybe, or supernatural haunted house sort of story revolving around a man and his daughters. So interesting. That's the first one. Up next, we have No Child of Mine by Nichelle Geraldez, and this one is on sale September 12th. So either of these ARCs I feel like might be nice to read, again, maybe during summerween, maybe during like before they come out, so I can get a review out there before the book's release. This one, both by the cover, there's like a baby carriage right there, and then from the blurb kind of gives me Rosemary's Baby vibes. So it says our main character is fiercely independent. She never imagined herself as a mother, but then she finds out she's pregnant. As her pregnancy progresses, and both her and her husband's lives are warped by a curse that has haunted her family for generations. So yeah, getting Rosemary's Baby vibes from this. Intrigued to pick it up. And then the last book, I lied. This is not an ARC. This is actually a finished copy, I believe, which is super cool. But that's going to be Graveyard of Lost Children by Katrina Monroe. Again, a title I have not heard of, but I have heard this author. They Drown Our Daughters was on my TBR last year, hadn't gotten to it, but I'm excited for this one as well. I think it has similar themes to the last one. It sounds like this is another story that's following a protagonist that's either pregnant or has just given birth. Creepy things start happening. Maybe there's family curses. I really like that kind of horror. I have not had any children, and I don't plan to, like, in the near future, but this kind of synopsis always gets me, and I'm intrigued to, again, maybe pick it up for summerween. Next up, we have the books that I purchased used from Pango. First up, we have Jen Lyon's The Ruin of Kings. Ever since I read another book that I'm going to be talking about later, I've been on a huge dragon fantasy kick, and I don't actually know if this series has dragons. It does have a dragon on the cover in the first book, so here's hoping. I've been meaning to get around to this series. I wasn't sure if I was going to purchase it or not, like just check it out from the library potentially, but this was like $5 for a really good condition hardback book, so I went ahead. We're gonna see if I like it. I would like to get to this sometime soon, especially if, like I mentioned, it has dragons in it, because that's the kind of fantasy mood I've been in, and I don't know anything else about this series other than it's a really popular series. I think it has about 4 books in it, and people tend to really enjoy it, so very intrigued. The next book I purchased used from Pango Books would be The Gunslinger by Stephen King. I had like a mass market paperback, a very new copy with like now a motion picture fake sticker on the front. The rest of my books in the Dark Tower series look like this in particular. The first 3, it's the floppy paperback with pictures inside, so I was really stoked to pick this up. I have read this. I'm in the middle of this series and I am really enjoying it, and I'm really glad that I managed to get my hands on the first book in this series that's going to match the rest of my copies a little bit better than what I had, so very excited for this. And then last but not least, from Pango Books, going off the kind of dragon mood that I've been in, and also realizing that Christopher Paolini is coming out with another book in the, I don't know if it's a part of the Aragon series or if it's going to be like a spin-off or just like another tale from that world. But I want to reread the series, and I want to do that. I think the new book comes out in November, so later on this year I'm planning a reread of the series, and I have never read this. I don't remember when it came out. Okay, 2018, so I was not really in like the bookish new releases sphere then. So this is The Fork, the Witch, and the Worm, Tales from Agalasia, Volume 1, Aragon. So yes, I need to read this. I've read the entire series except for this, so I'm probably going to do a vlog in about September or October where I read this entire series and then read this in preparation for the new book coming out. So I'm very excited for this. I did not anticipate it being so small, but I loved this series as a kid, and I'm very excited for all the new to me and new content that we're getting in this world this year. Next up, I do have to brag on my mom a little bit because she is so good at finding the best deals for anything, but also for my books. She supports my book collecting hobby, and she's always keeping an eye out for the kind of books that I might like to read, in terms of like if it's either on our community's, her community's local buy sell trade page or used bookstores, just like any deals. So she knows I love Stephen King. She knows that I'm trying to collect like older Stephen King covers and editions, and she came through and delivered and found some really good copies. First things first, the one in probably the worst condition, but it has a dust jacket, which I've tried purchasing this online, not through Pango. So I switched to Pango from like Thrift Books or other websites. Again, not sponsored, but I just have better luck with conditions on there. I've never been able to get an older copy of this stand that has the dust jacket on. So this one is kind of coming off a little bit, but I think I can book doctor it a little bit. I'm very excited to have a copy of the stand with the cover art, the dust jacket, because I haven't had that. So I believe this is the edition before the uncut edition, which I'm also excited about, just because I kind of want to have both copies in my collection. So that was very exciting to me. Also, she managed to find Firestarter with the original cover, which I absolutely love. I haven't seen any of the movies for Firestarter. I have read Firestarter, and I did really enjoy the story. I recently reread it in preparation to watch the adaptation, and then I heard bad things about it and I never got around to it. So yes, absolutely love this cover, really enjoy this book, and I just need to maybe watch like the older movie with Drew Barrymore, or you know, the newer movie, who knows. Let me know down below if you've watched either of those and if they're worth my time. But I was really stoked that my mom found this cover, and then oh my gosh, this one I've been looking for forever, and it's very hard to find a copy of this book in good condition with this cover. That's gonna be Pet Sematary. I've read this one, really enjoyed it. Another one that I haven't actually watched the movies or any adaptations for, but yeah, my mom's the coolest. There were some other books included within the box, Carrie, The Dead Zone, and Cujo. I'm not including them in this haul just because I do already own copies that I like of those and that are in a just slightly better condition, but I'm kind of planning on maybe doing like some sort of craft project or like decoration of some of those books that I have duplicates of now with like these vintage covers. I think that would be really cool, like making a display, not just on my bookshelves, but maybe like out where we have our TV, something like that. So very excited. My mom is just the absolute coolest and super stoked to find these. And then last but not least, we have all the books that I have purchased new at Barnes & Noble, and the first one, talked about this in a vlog, was very much I saw a TikTok on it, went to Barnes & Noble, was looking for another book that they didn't have, and had to pick this up. This Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. Yes, I did get the fancy sprayed edges, which I'm super excited about. Read this, really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. It's put me in such a dragon fantasy mood, so this was definitely a mental health pick-me-up, like spontaneous buy, definitely like a cover and sprayed edges buy that I'm really glad that I ended up really loving. And then next up, I had to get the latest from R.F. Kuang, who's one of my auto buy authors. This came out in the middle of May. Yellowface, I've read this. It's going to be in my favorites of the year. Very sharp, almost like a thriller social commentary. I really loved this. If you want a good audiobook recommendation, the audiobook for this is absolutely fantastic, but R.F. Kuang can do no wrong in my book. Absolutely, I've loved every single thing that she's written so far, so I really enjoyed this. And then when I went to my Barnes & Noble location to pick up Yellowface, I didn't actually put that one on pre-order because I actually wanted to pick it up the first day it came out and read it, and sometimes Barnes & Noble pre-orders can take a while, but on my way to the checkout I saw this book on a stand and had to pick it up because I've been wanting to read it for a while, and also floppy paperbacks have been my weakness lately. So that would be A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. This is about a food critic who turns cannibal. So yeah, exciting. Again, another summer-ween read. A lot of these books very spooky. That's just, you know, it's summer-ween season. It's also spooky season all year round here, so very excited to read this. I've heard wonderful things about it. And then the last two books were also kind of impulse buys, just because Barnes & Noble had a Memorial Day sale where they had, if you are a rewards member, you got like triple the points that you normally get, which is really good because they have a new and improved reward system. So I just kind of bought some books that I've been eyeing for a while. First one is Court of the Undying Seasons by A.M. Strickland. I have recently read this and loved it. This was a whole lot of fun. It's like a vampire boarding school / survival game where you have to participate in challenges to prove yourself worthy of becoming a vampire, and I really enjoyed this. I always love when I buy a book, especially this one. I'd read stuff from the author before and enjoyed, hadn't heard a lot about this one, but I'm glad I picked it up on a whim and I really enjoyed it. And then also it was kind of funny, I didn't realize until I had placed my order, because I also placed some pre-orders during that sale, that the two that were coming to me because they'd already been released were both sapphic vampire books. So last but not least, last book that I've purchased was A Long Time Dead by Samara Brecker, and this is historical fiction. I believe there's also romance in here. It's sapphic vampires. I'm reading it right now and I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, that is going to be all of the books that I've purchased recently. It's actually perfect timing for filming this because my puppy just woke up. So yeah, glad that I got this book haul filmed. Got a lot of good books that I've either already read or plan on reading soon. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, subscribe to my channel for all of the bookish and cozy gaming content. Stay safe, stay spooky, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye guys!